The voice in the mirror. In a quiet village nestled between ancient woods and glistening lakes, there lived a woman named Elira. She had always been known for her warmth, her kindness, and her ability to see the beauty in even the simplest of things. But as time passed, she noticed something strange. Her reflection in the mirror no longer felt like her own. At first, it was subtle. Her smile seemed forced, her eyes dimmer than before. But over time, the woman in the mirror grew distant, as if Elira was looking at a stranger. It wasn't long before the reflection began speaking to her in hushed whispers. "You've lost something," the voice said one evening as Elira brushed her hair. "You've forgotten who you are." Elira shivered but brushed the words away, convincing herself it was a trick of her tired mind. But the voice persisted, growing louder with each passing day. "You're living someone else's life," it warned. "You've betrayed your own heart." Elira tried to ignore the voice, but deep down, she knew it was right. For years, she had made choices based on what others expected of her. She married a man who promised security, but not love, took a job that provided stability, but not joy, and lived a life that felt safe but not true. One night, unable to sleep, she stood in front of the mirror, tears in her eyes. "Who am I?" she asked the reflection, her voice trembling. The woman in the mirror smiled gently. "You are the one who dreams of painting, who longs to dance under the moonlight, who wishes to travel to lands unknown. You are the one who believes in magic, in love, in wonder. But you've locked those dreams away." Elira's heart ached with the weight of those forgotten desires. She realized in that moment that the more you ignore or override your inner voice, the quieter it becomes. Eventually, you might struggle to recognize what you truly want or need, leaving you feeling lost or disconnected from yourself. Each decision that betrays your true nature adds another layer of distance between who you are and who you're pretending to be, until one day you wake up and wonder how you ended up so far from your authentic path. It's important to acknowledge that the decisions we make that betray ourselves aren't always born out of malice or ignorance. Often, they are made in the face of fear, external pressure, or in the pursuit of something that seems immediately rewarding. Whether it's seeking approval, avoiding conflict, or taking the safer, more convenient route, the allure of short-term gains can be tempting, but those gains rarely last. The job you took because it seemed practical but doesn't align with your passions, the relationship you stayed in despite knowing it wasn't right, or the dream you abandoned out of fear of failure, these decisions come with a cost. And the cost is often the nagging feeling of regret that persists long after the short-term benefits have faded. When you betray yourself, the effects often ripple out into other areas of your life. A decision made in opposition to your authentic self can create emotional stress, internal conflict, and even physical manifestations of that discord, such as anxiety, depression, or burnout. Over time, it can impact your relationships, your career, and your overall sense of fulfillment and happiness. Others can sense when we're not living in alignment with our true selves. It can manifest in how we show up in the world, whether we're hiding behind a facade or constantly doubting our decisions. People might not be able to pinpoint it, but they can feel it when someone is disconnected from their truth, which can lead to misunderstandings, distance, or missed opportunities for deeper, more meaningful connections. The good news is that it's never too late to return to your true path. Every day, we have the opportunity to make choices that honor who we are at our core. It begins with tuning back into that inner voice, the one that has always been there, waiting for you to listen again. Learning to trust yourself again requires patience, self-compassion, and practice. Start by paying attention to how certain decisions make you feel. Are you making them out of fear, convenience, or obligation? Or are they in alignment with your values, passions, and desires? The more you practice honoring your authentic self, the stronger that inner voice will become, and the easier it will be to make choices that reflect your true nature. Choosing to live in alignment with your authentic self often requires courage. It means embracing the discomfort of standing out, going against the grain, or disappointing others. But it also means embracing the deep sense of peace, fulfillment, and self-respect that comes from staying true to who you are. The decisions that we look back on with pride are the ones where we chose ourselves, where we honored our values, trusted our instincts, and stayed true to our hearts, even when it was difficult. And the decisions that will haunt us are the ones where we betrayed that sacred connection to ourselves, letting fear or external expectations dictate our actions. Ultimately, the decision to live authentically is the only one that leads to lasting peace and happiness. When you choose to honor who you really are, you create a life that reflects your deepest truths. And that is a life free of regret.